Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the first wave of Yudo figures for Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger. As you can see here, this set is comprised of 9 boxes. So you have 1 for Zenkaiger, 2 for Jiron, 2 for Gawon, 2 for Vroom, 1 for Majin, and then you get an accessory box, and that makes up our 9. Now a lot of people have kind of compared these to the Change Series figures that they did for Zenkaiger. I'm assuming they're going to be fairly similar, but these actually do not transform. I'm hoping as such they're going to have a little bit better proportions and they're going to have better articulation, but we'll wait and see. I'll definitely do a comparison later on in the video because I know a lot of people have kind of been curious about this. Now I do apologize, I know this video is late. I mean, Wave 2 is almost out and I still haven't gotten through Wave 1 yet, but I am trying to get through the backlog. But yeah, so here's Zenkaiger. I'm assuming this one's going to be almost identical to the Change Hero series because that was basically just a Soto figure and that's basically what this is. But you can see the lineup here on the back and it shows the accessories. Not really too much else going on with the packaging, I gotta be honest. 3 sides of it is really just like warnings. So you have the front here, you have the top, and then you have the back, which is actually, that's a pretty cool pick. I like that. So not too exciting. I'm assuming these are all going to be pretty, so yeah, they all have the same picture on the back, so not too much going on there. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the packaging. Pretty standard for these. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get these fully assembled, stickered up, and then we'll take a closer look. So here are all 5 of the figures fully stickered up and assembled. And I just want to do a quick group shot before I go into each one individually because I want to do direct comparisons with the Change Hero series. But I wanted to just do kind of a fun quick group shot. I really do think all of these look really great together. But let's go ahead. Let's start with Zenkaiger. So here is Yudo Zenkaiger, fully stickered up and assembled. He looks pretty good. I like him a lot. He's got a lot of nice rainbow stickers here. Obviously, both of these cuffs are stickers. This is a sticker here on the side. The inside of the thigh is actually paint, but this little bit down here, this little red down there is a sticker. This piece right here is a sticker. Obviously, the belt buckle and the belt stickers. All of the rainbow pieces here on the arms and chest. And then all of these bands, this little piece up here. There's actually a gold sticker on top of the gold paint. This inside the circle right here. And then everything on the helmet with the exception of the gold V are stickers. They also give you stickers to put on the back end of the shoulder pads. They paint the front but not the back. And then the little cape piece here is on a hinge. That's actually painted. And he looks pretty good. I really like him. Obviously, he's got a sticker for both sides of the gear talinger. And then you can see that they have a cutout for the crank, but it doesn't move and doesn't get a sticker of its own. But he's got a swivel here at the neck. He's got kind of a ball joint in the head, so you can do... Now, I believe we can take this off. I believe this can... No, it is just a hinge. Okay, so I was wrong. It's just a series. It's a hinge up and down, and then a swivel side to side. You have a hinge here in the shoulder pad. You can kind of pull this out a little bit, but it doesn't come all the way out. But you can do a full rotation. You have a hinge. You have 90 degrees there in the elbow. So I thought there was a bicep swivel, but I guess there is not. Unless it's somewhere... No bicep swivel. You have kind of a ball joint in the wrist, and you can switch them out. He does come with 2 fists and then 2 open hands, so he gets a set of each. You do have a swivel here in the waist, and really you can unpeg that if you wish. You have a ball joint here in the hip, so you can kick forward, kick out to the side. Can't really go much farther back than that because of the butt flap. You do have a thigh swivel. You have a little over 90 degrees there in the knee, and then a ball joint in the ankle, so... Pretty decent amount of articulation, and like I said with the stickers I think he looks pretty good. Let me zoom out a bit here. Let me bring in the Change Hero Zenkaiger. So they look pretty similar. I would say that they are molded the same. Now see, he's got a bicep swivel though, so am I just missing it? Is it here and I'm just missing it? Yes, it is there and I'm just missing it. Okay, it's right under that gold band. He does have a bicep swivel. I thought so. I thought it was crazy that he didn't have it. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say these are the exact same figure. Well, no, I guess if you look at the knees, the shins are different. You can see the leg is a little bit thinner on the Yudo. The arms look pretty similar. The belt buckle is a little tweaked. It's a little bit thinner on the Change Hero series figure. So yeah, I guess it is. It shares a lot of similarities and certainly a lot of articulation points, but it is slightly molded differently. I mean, even the Geertlinger is different because this side is kind of completely hollow and doesn't have the crank, and you can see that this one's actually much bigger. So it's kind of funny. I mean, it really is. You can see the belt buckle. This one's a little bigger over here. This section's a little larger over here. The waist and the body, you can see that this is a little bit shorter. That's funny. I would have bet money that these would just be the exact same figure. And this is actually a hinge where this is a peg. This peg's on. I mean, they both look okay. Honestly, the Change Hero figure, the Change series, I keep forgetting what this is actually called, but we'll call it the Change series. So the Change series figure, or Change Hero, I don't know, whatever. It looks pretty similar. I think I have to give the edge to the Yudo, though. If you don't want to mess with stickers, I think this is a perfectly viable option because I do think it looks pretty good. But you can see, especially on the arms, we get 3 bands that are not painted over here that we get stickers for. Honestly, all of the colors in the chest and the thighs, I think, are done pretty well. They're all painted, which is nice. The head's not really missing any paint. The chest, obviously, there's no there on the back, but that's not a big deal. And then you get 1 extra band down by the ankles. So this has a decent amount of paint, honestly. Like I said, I think the Yudo looks a little bit better. I also think the molding is a little better over here. Just the proportions and everything, I think, work a little bit better. But like I said, if you don't want to mess with stickers, I think that this is a perfectly viable option. But I think I do have to give the edge to the Yudo figure. Alright, so up next we have Jiron. And the nice thing about these, with the Change series figures, none of them came with a Geertlinger except Zenkaiger. With these, they all come with one, which I think is really cool. So they each have their own little Geertlinger here. They're all exactly the same. They have this little cutout for the crank here. You get a sticker for each side, and it looks pretty good. It's pretty simplistic, but it works. You also get, with the accessory pack, his sword and shield. So you have this sword piece. This is one big sticker here for the blade. We'll go ahead and pop this into his hand. I guess you should use this one here. It doesn't really matter. You can use either one. They'll fit into his hand. And then you get the shield as well. Now you can see right now I have an open hand here. I'm going to go ahead and pop this out so I can pop in an extra fist. And pretty much every character comes with an open set of hands and a closed fist set of hands, which is pretty cool. So here is the sword and shield. The head looks pretty good. It's a decent amount of stickers. But I will say that this was paint, the 2 horns, and the red up here. So we just had to do the eyes, and I think the mohawk, and then the crest with the 16 on it. I think even the mouth was paint, so that's pretty cool. So this is on kind of a ball joint and a hinge, so it's kind of similar to Zenkaiger's head, where you have this piece that moves around back and forth, but then you can see it's on a ball joint that just pegs into the body here. So there you go. We have a hinge, and then you have a hinge here for the shoulder pad. You have a hinge out to the side as well as a rotation. You have the bicep swivel, 90 degrees in the elbow. This one actually can go backwards quite a bit. And then, of course, you have kind of a ball joint for the wrist. You have a swivel in the waist. You have these little skirt pieces that can move up and down. You have pretty good range of motion here in the ball joint for the hip. And I believe this can pop up. I believe this little skirt can come up. So you can kick pretty far forward, pretty far back, pretty far out to the side. You do have a thigh swivel there. You have a little bit over 90 degrees in the knee. And then you do have a ball joint here in the ankle. So you can get a nice range of motion there. So he does overall look pretty good. And like I said, these do not transform. So he can just have all the articulation where it counts. He's got the kind of subdued or, scrunched up dino head. It's a little bit not as long as it would be, like, say, for the DX toys. It's kind of pushed in a little bit, which I think makes sense, to just kind of overall add to the design. So let's go ahead, let's bring in the Change Hero figure. So here we go. Here is the Change Hero Jiron. And I don't know, I think I got to give it to the Change Hero on this one. He looks good. I don't know what it is. Like, there's nothing wrong with this one, but I just think he looks a little bit more sleek. I really like the head over here. The dino head, I think, works a little bit better on his chest. Now, again, this guy's going to have a little bit more as far as details go. He's got the silver there on the side. Actually, he's got the silver over here, too. He's got the black stickers on the front of the ankles down here. But overall, I think... now, obviously, he doesn't have the orange here on the forearms. But even this piece over here looks good. The little dino head looks good. And I actually like the sword. I think the sword looks pretty cool. And if I really wanted, I could probably switch these out. Yeah, that'll work. I mean, it's not the same shade of red, but if I just want the silver there. Yeah, I don't know. I think I have to give this to the Change series. There's nothing wrong with the Yudo, definitely not. But I just think he looks a little bit more sleek, and this guy just looks a little bit more rotund. He's got a bulk to him. Again, not a problem, but I just think this one looks a little better. So yeah, maybe just steal the accessories over, make the best version of this guy. But honestly, I think, I have to admit, this was definitely my favorite out of the Change series. So that's probably why he wins this round. But yeah, he's just a little wide, a little thick in the body. This guy looks a little bit sleeker, a little bit cooler. So yeah, I think I have to give the win to this one. Next up, we have Gaon. He's going to be very, very similar to Jiron in terms of body. He is assembled very similarly. You can see you have these pieces that connect to the shoulders here. And they kind of have the animal feet like molded on there. Head looks pretty good. Nice stickers there. It's a decent amount of paint. The eyes, this last black set of marks here, and then the crest are stickers. I think for the lion head, it's just the nose. And then he's got some stickers around the forearm. This comes in the accessory piece, just like Jiron's sword and shield. That extra box of accessories, this piece comes on there. You can just peg it into the forearm. It's pretty much all the same articulation. So the head, the neck, this swivel, the rotation, you got the bicep swivel, you got the elbow, the hands. Again, open set and closed set, rotation there. Yeah, it's the exact same articulation as Jiron. It's really not any different whatsoever. He also comes with the Geartalinger, which is kind of neat because you can actually have him wield his weapon and the Geartalinger because it just kind of pegs onto his forearm. So you don't have to have him like choose one over the other like Jiron has to choose one over the other because he only has so many hands. But since his is wrist mounted, you can just go ahead and pull that off. So he looks good. Let's go ahead. Let's bring in the Change series. Now, see, this one I'm conflicted because he has to transform. These pieces are a lot larger and get in the way more. But I do kind of still think, he just looks a little bit sleeker because his chest isn't as wide. This guy's definitely more just rotund again, a little bit thicker for lack of a better term. But I don't know. I definitely like this piece over this piece. And this is just mostly black with just a little bit of yellow paint on the front. And that kind of bleeds through. Whereas over here, everything's molded. The head, I would say, is pretty similar. This one actually has a little bit more paint than this one does. So yeah, I kind of like the chest of this guy better, but everything else on this guy I like better. So I think I gotta give the win here to the Yudo, but I think just barely. There's just a couple things with this one that don't quite work that I think he just pulls off a little better. So like I said, I wish if the chest was just a little bit smaller, like I could just take this chest and put it here. The rest of this body I think really works. Up next, we have Yuda Majin. I love her. I think she looks great. Really, really well done. Nice compressed backpack. Not a lot of kibble back here. The head looks fantastic. Decent amount of paint. I think this silver here is paint and the mouth is paint. Just the eyes, the crest, and this little bit of silver up here are stickers. The stickers up here for this kind of shoulder joint, I think, look really good. And you have a little bit of gold here on the chest, but this sticker here and then the black there is stickers. The belt is one big sticker that goes around. This is kind of a, like, just crotch covering plate. This is on a hinge, and then you can also move these, which is nice. So if you want to kind of make it look like she's flying or something, you could do something like that. If you just want them to kind of hang down as like side skirt pieces, you can do that. She also comes with an open set and a closed set of hands. She has pretty much all the same articulation as the others. You got the hinge, you got the swivel, you got the shoulder pad. You have kind of a hinge and swivel here in the shoulder, bicep swivel. You have pretty much 180 in the elbow there. Then you have the ball joint for the hands. You have the swivel here at the waist. You can move this out of the way so that she can kick pretty far forward, pretty far back, pretty far out to the side there. Got that thigh swivel 90 degrees in the knee, and then you get the ball joint in the ankle. So yeah, she really looks good. She comes, of course, with a gear tlinger, but she also comes with this piece here, which I will admit, this side is very hollow, which is kind of a bummer. But from over here, you know, it's her little wand setup she's got going over here, the dragon tail. So that works. So if I bring in the Change Hero series figure, I definitely think I have to give this one to the Yudo. Pretty clear cut. One, I like this shade of pink a lot better. This is a really dark shade of pink. I don't know, it just doesn't work as well in my opinion. I mean, this is a fine figure. It's really not terrible. But yeah, I would say, and it's pretty much, I would say, like, where we have stickers is almost exactly where the paint is over here. So there's really not too much that's missing that this one has that this one doesn't. Just this little bit here in the shoulders with the gold's all the same, the black's the same, the silver down here, the silver here, the arms. So they're pretty similar in terms of like where they have paint or stickers. But I just really like this lighter shade of pink. I just think that works a little bit better. And this one's just a little bit less clunky because it doesn't need to have these extra pieces to transform. And I mean, if you're comparing the size of these magic wands, this one is massive and actually has kind of the crystal on the top, where this one is just a peg because it needs the peg in to become the tail. So again, nothing wrong with this figure. I just think this one is a little bit better, a little bit nicer, and I really just prefer this shade of pink over this kind of darker, it's not even really a magenta, it's just like a really almost purple. Like, it's really just dark. I just think this works a little better. I also like that she has the open set of hands and also comes with the gear tlinger, so definitely think the Yudo wins on this one. And last but certainly not least, here is Vroom. He looks pretty good. Doesn't have too much kibble or anything on the back. They put these pieces on here, and Majin had one of these as well, but Majin's was completely molded in and stationary. I don't know why this is here. Like, I understand, you know, the DX has it. If you want, you can just take it off and not worry about it, which honestly you don't really need to, but I guess I'll just leave it on here for the sake of argument. I don't know. You could just put it however you want. I understand they want to be authentic, but that piece serves no purpose. We could have just left it off. In any case, the head looks good. All of this silver on the top of the crest up here is a sticker. That's one sticker that goes around, and then there's an extra sticker on each side. The little crest with the 30, and then the eyes is one band of stickers. But this over here is all paint. The face down here is all paint, so decent amount of paint. And he's got very similar articulation to all the rest. Just have a hinge there, and then a swivel side to side. He's got a hinge and a rotation, and you can move the shoulders there. He does have a bicep swivel. He's got pretty much, almost 180, just kind of clearance issues all the way around there. I have him with an open hand here. He also comes with an open set of hands and a closed set of fists. You have a waist swivel there. You can see where that comes unpegged. And then you can kick forward, kick all the way back, kick out to the side, thighs swivel 90 degrees, and then you got a ball joint here in the ankle. So he looks pretty good. I really like that he comes with a gear tlinger. Again, they all have one, which I appreciate, so I think that's cool. Open set, closed set of hands, and then he does come with the little pickaxe accessory, just done completely in this gray plastic. So no stickers or anything for that. He's basically got like a sticker on each shoulder pad. Obviously the Geertlinger. He's got a yellow sticker for the lights there. Piece for the waist. This little bit of blue here is a sticker. And I think that's pretty much it. He didn't really have too much. There's on the side of the legs here. It's almost kind of hard to see because it's so dark. But there's a sticker here and a sticker here. So I guess just for the sides of the dump truck. But he looks good. I like him a lot. I think there's great articulation. Stickers look good. Let's bring in the Change series figure. Honestly, these guys are pretty similar. It's kind of just like a slightly shrunken down version. Again, they have pretty much all the same paint applications. There's not really too much missing there. This is just gray plastic, whereas this is painted silver. He's got the same knee caps painted. The chest is very similar. You know, there's just one or two stickers here. The shoulders are very similar. You know, obviously you're going to get better hands with the Yudo figure. You get an ankle tilt you don't get otherwise. These two I think are the most alike, honestly, out of everything. And then this is just done in blue because it was probably cheaper. Obviously this one has more articulation and has, you know, a couple more stickers, but you know, the paint on this guy is pretty good. So if you had to choose between the two, I'd say just go for the Yudo because he comes with a couple more accessories and a couple more articulation points. But again, very viable alternative because they're very pretty similar. So honestly, these are great figures. I really do like these a lot. They probably do edge out the Change series figures just a little bit for me. Now, they're not perfect. I do still think that Jiron and Gowon's chests are just a little too wide. I feel like they could have just slimmed them down, contoured them down a little bit. Not a big deal. They still look great as is. I just think because of that, the Jiron from the Change series is probably the only one that I actually like a little bit better than the Yudo figures. Otherwise, the Yudo is fantastic. These three especially. I really like Zenkaiger, Majin, and Vroom. I just think they really came out great. The accessories are fantastic. I love that every one of these five has their own Geertlinger. That's a big deal. It really just comes down to patience. If you have the patience to put into these figures, you know, it's a decent amount of stickers to apply, but you really do get a lot of great detail. You get a lot of articulation with these. The accessories are great. If you want just a representation of the figures, you don't want to deal with stickers, and you know the decent amount of paint is good enough for you, and maybe the transformation angle appeals to you, then I would say go for the Change series figures. Or if you're crazy like me, get both, and then just pick and choose and make yourself an ultimate team out of the two sets of five, whichever one is your favorite. Honestly, like I said, I think I would probably just scoot him out. I would pop this guy in, and then there you go, boom, there's my team. He's the only one I would switch out. I just think he looks a little bit better. I really do. But yeah, that's the only one I'd probably switch out of there. But like I said, these are great figures. I definitely recommend checking them out if you have the patience to put the time into them. Once all the stickers are applied and everything, they really look great. Plus you get an open set of and closed set of hands for each figure. Everyone gets their own Geertlinger, plus they all get another accessory, with the exception of Zenkaiger just has the gun, but everyone else has, you know, a wand or sword and shield or a pickaxe or something like that. So there's a lot of options here. So it's a great set. Like I said, definitely recommend picking it up. Set 2 will be out before we know it, so definitely be on the lookout for that. And set 2 looks amazing. I think Super Zenkaiger's in there, 2 Kaiser's in there with all of his different armors. Stay Caesar's in there. Is it Zenkai Red? I always want to call him Red Kaiser, and that's not right. I think it's Zenkai Red. He's even in there, so 2 is going to be a crazy set. So definitely jump on 1, get it put together before 2's out because you're going to want them. And yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.